Hi everyone, Bible study. Back again. We left off on 1 John. So we're going to start on 1 John, chapter 2, verse 28. It says, "Live in fellowship with God, so you will be full of courage when He returns." Chapter 3, verse 1 through 3 says, "We're all children of God. However, people who love the world do not see it." And for me, I think that's true. You know, we're all children of God because God made everyone. He made the good, the bad. He made angels. He made demons. He made it all. So we're all sisters and brothers if you really think about it. But of course, the demons don't like us and are very jealous of us, so they don't look at us as in a good light. So that's where all the bickering and fighting comes from when we're going up against people who are controlled by demons and stuff, or influenced by demons. It is important to have fellowship with God. I think at this time with this virus going around, it's a perfect opportunity to have a better relationship with God and just build your relationship up with God. Who knows? He could have taken away all the sports and social gatherings just so people can look up and depend on Him more. Because right now we're experiencing birth pains, according to a lot of the prophecies that are coming true now, and how nature is acting and such. We're in the birth pains, which just means that God is getting ready to come back, and we don't want to be caught not having a relationship with God, a personal relationship with God, when that day comes. Chapter 3, verse 7 through 10. The people who make a practice of sinning are children of the devil and not God. The devil has been sinning from the beginning. Anyone who does not live righteously does not love other believers. Anyone who does not live righteously and does not love other believers does not belong to God. Those born into God's family do not practice sinning because God's life is in them. The Son of God came to destroy the works. The Son of God came to destroy the works of Satan. So you may ask yourself, because it's kind of a contradiction. Whereas in chapter 3, verse 1 through 3, it says we're all children of God. However, people who love the world do not see it. And then chapter 3, verse 7 through 10 says the people who make a practice of sinning are children of the devil and not God. So people who practice sinning are people who love the world. And even technically, we're all children of God. People who do things that are against God are actually children of Satan. But because Satan is one of God's children too, that makes his kids one of God's children as well, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I can try to break it down or explain it a bit better. Don't be afraid to comment, and ask questions. But yeah, we're all children of God, the good and the bad. However, when the bad have children, those children are still children of God. Like say you have kids, like you say you and your partner have kids, and you got one child that's good, one child that's bad. Those are both still your children. So when that bad child has kids, that bad child kid is going to come out bad. Will have a more likely chance of coming out bad. Those will still be your kids, whether you acknowledge it or not, or like it or not. Those will still be your kids. In the same way with good people, bad people, angels, demons. I mean, of course, God don't like what the devil does, but I mean that's still his child. And so when people do things like the devil, that means they are born from the devil, they come from him. But you do have good people who sin, but they don't know that they're sinning. At some point in their life, they usually turn around though and follow God, But if you're a good person and you're surrounded by bad people, sometimes those bad people can make you do bad things and you don't know you're doing them until God sends one of his people to tell you you're doing something wrong. And you may not want to believe it at first, but eventually something in you will be like, okay, yeah, that is wrong. And so you get set right with God, I don't know. But I hope that makes sense. Chapter 3, we still are in 1 John. So, chapter 3, verse 11 through 23. Love one another and help one another. If you live well and do not help your brothers and sisters in need, then the love of God is not in you. We will receive from God whatever we ask for with bold confidence if we obey God. God's commandment is for us to believe in the name of his son Jesus Christ, love one another just as he commanded us. Obeying God's commandments keep us in fellowship with God and with us, and God with us, and God will live in us. So, love one another, help each other. Even if you don't feel like helping somebody, still help somebody, because we all need help at some point. And you're not so high and mighty to where you won't need help or you won't need that same help. So when you can help people, if you have the ability to help someone, and if you have the opportunity to help someone, help them. You'll feel good about it. They'll feel good about it. Possibly they could spread that kindness to someone else in need, because we all need help at some point. So help each other. Help each other in God, in Christ. Now, don't help somebody do evil or be evil. You stop them and say that's wrong. Don't participate in it. But you can help people who are in need, of guidance. Sometimes if you have spiritual knowledge that you can give someone, or spiritual advice, help them. If they need help with food, clothes, anything that you have that you can give, then help. It's putting good energy out in the world that this world needs. When you pray to God and you ask God for things, and you're confident about it, he will help you. But if you have any kind of negativity or negative feelings, negative energy, it blocks you from God. It's like when you pray to God, you can kind of like imagine a string from you to God. And when you're praying to God and you have negative feelings of any, like you're angry about something, or you even having anxiety and depression can block you from getting a connection or a fellowship with God. So you have to get in control of that. If you're at a point, if your anxiety and depression is at a point where it's disrupting your thoughts and it's keeping you from having a fellowship with God, then you need to ask God to help you get the proper medication or resources that you need, because sometimes we do need medication. I'm one of those people where I needed medication, but not everybody needs it, because some people can take medication for it, and they say, oh, it makes it worse. And then some people can take medication and live a better, healthier life. So it really depends upon you, and you just gotta pay attention to how it makes you feel, how it affects your life. And if it makes you have a better life than what you were living before, then medication is probably what you need. Sometimes you have to try different medications out until you get the right one. For me, I had to try out about 2 or 3 before I got the right one. The ones I took prior to the ones that I'm taking now, they helped me, but they didn't help me to get to where I needed to be at mentally, because I have, focus problems. When people have anxiety and depression, they can have focus problems, concentration problems. I have a little bit of OCD. Well, I think I had a lot of bit of OCD, to where like I would have to close the door a certain amount of times, or I have to tap a certain amount. Like if I tap a book, then I'd be like, oh, I gotta tap 3 or 4 times, or somebody's gonna die. I had that type of OCD. So yeah, I think I need it. So so some people just need that. I had obsessive negative thoughts. So medicine did help me, but medicine is not a cure all. A lot of people think you can take medicine and it's going to just wipe it all away. No, you have to do your part, your work as well. Like on top of me taking medication, I also did my part, as to practicing positive thinking every day. And by practicing, like if I had a negative thought, like I went and bought me a journal, and if I had a negative thought, I would write that negative thought down. Like I recognized it was a negative thought because it made me feel bad. If it makes you feel bad, if it makes you have anxiety, sadness, depression, frustration, it's a negative thought. So I write it down, and then I put a line, and then next to that negative thought, I'll put a positive thought. I'll sit there and think, because I said, look, if I can think this negative thought, I can also think a positive thought. So even if it took me a little bit of time, I would sit there until I got a positive thought to replace that negative thought. So eventually I got to the point where I didn't have to write it down, where I could do it in my head, to where if I had a negative thought, I'll just picture in my head, cross over that negative thought, and then next to it a positive thought, and I'll feel a whole lot better, But I had to practice with writing it down first. So I kind of got off a little bit subject there, but maybe it's something that someone needs to hear. if you see someone that is truly in need, because you do have people who try to take advantage, where they don't be in need, but they just try to take advantage of your kindness. Those people you just gotta leave alone for your own sanity. But if you see someone who is truly in need, then you help them. Like I see people that be like begging all the time, and like on the street, just like homeless and stuff. But then a lot of times I'll see them, and then they're like not really homeless. They just be trying to take advantage of people, kindness. But then there's people that I see that are truly homeless, like I never seen before. Like I know they're like homeless, and I always ask God to lead me, and I usually feel like really strong energy towards that person if they are really in need. And then that's when I be like, okay, if I got change, if I got money, like I'll give it to them. I remember there was this one boy, I hadn't seen him before, but he was standing outside the Quick Trip, and he just looked really like you could see the sadness and frustration in him. Like he was not trying to use anybody. He just really was thirsty, because it was hot outside that day, I believe, and he was just really thirsty, and he was just like, can I have something to drink, I didn't have a lot of money on me, but the money I did have, I gave it to him, and he went and got him something to drink. And then a couple of times I ran across people who's like, I'm just like really thirsty, and I'll go in the house and just grab bottled waters and just give it to them, and that's because that's like I've never been that type of person where I'm like evil to anybody. I don't have that type of heart. This one guy, he was, going around cutting people's grass, and he was like, I'm really thirsty. He said, I'll cut your grass, for some water. And I was like, you ain't gotta cut my grass for no water, and so I went in the house and got him some water. I got him about 2-3 bottles, 4, I think it was about 4 bottles of water I gave him and I prayed for him too, like, God, help him, because he, cause some people do be trying to make an honest living, and they really just need food and water, and whenever I have the opportunity to do that, I do, I've even went down to where the homeless people be at and like pass out pizza and stuff, so but it's not something that I want to get recognition for. I'm just using those as an example, things that you can do. If you have a good heart, just have a good heart, and don't expect anything in return. Don't be like, oh, well, if I do this, God gonna do this for me. God knows your heart. So if you're just doing something just to get, rewarded, then you already got your reward. So don't expect anything more. Do things because people just really need help, and the way things are going in this world is just, you never know, you could be in that spot where you need that same help. So never turn your nose up at somebody, but always ask God to lead you, because there are people who try to take advantage of your kindness. So always ask God to lead you and help you to help those who are in need and who are really in need, not people who are trying to take advantage, It's always good to follow God's commandments, obey His laws. I am going to also go over his law. I know I have some other things that I want to go over with you guys as well, but I'm going to go over his laws as well, his commandments. Like, I'm going to write them, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to write it all down, laws and commandments, and try to go over that with you as well. So you can have, because some people are like, well, what are his laws and commandments, you know? You could first start with the first 10 commandments. Where people kind of get confused with the 10 commandments is, they're like, oh, okay, well, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. But those are titles. You have to read the paragraph under that, because it explains more, you know, in depth as you read the paragraph under the title. So, but the 10 Commandments is a great place to start, you know. But God has other laws as well that's throughout the Bible that I'm going to show you guys. But yeah, obey God. When He's talking to you, obey Him. If you're not sure it's Him, then you need to ask God to show you in a way that you will understand. Because God knows you better than anybody. So of course, He can show you in a way that you will understand. And obeying Him keeps you in good fellowship with God. And He will be with you and live with you. And that's a good thing to have when you're in this world. Chapter 4, verse 1 through 6. Test everyone, because not everyone speaks about the Spirit. There are many false prophets in the world. If a person does not acknowledge Jesus Christ came in a real body, that person is not from God. The Spirit who lives in you is greater than the Spirit who lives in the world. People who belong to the world is accepted by the world. Only those who belong to God will listen to us. If they don't listen to you, then they do not have the spirit of truth, but of deception. So, when you're telling people about God and they're not trying to listen to anything that you're saying, they don't have the spirit of truth in them. They have the spirit of lies, deception, trickery in them. And what you can do is you can pray that they be open up to God's truth, and stop being tricked by Satan. Test everyone, because there are a lot of people that come in God's name, but they're not from God. Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics. Yeah. And I know some of you may be that, but I mean, you need to really reevaluate your religion. Because all Muslims, you know, yeah, I said it, you know. I mean, the things that they teach their people, what the problem I have with Muslims is they know God is not telling them to go around killing people. You know, that's just the evil in their own words, and then they're trying to put it on God. Now, a long time ago, God did tell His people, Israel, to kill people that was in their land. And He said that because of how they was living. God never tells you to go around killing somebody who's innocent or whatever. He was saying it because of what they was doing. They was worshiping demons and all that stuff. They was already, you know, they already gave themselves to the devil. And then plus they was on God's church land. And God knew that. And so God never was like, well, go kill them, whatever. God knew that. Because I believe He even said that, but a lot of atheists want to look over it. God already knew that the people that was in Israel's land was not going to willingly give up the land, and they wasn't going to coexist with them peacefully. And if the Israelites did live with them, they was going to they was going to teach them their ways, which was evil, which is why God wanted to put Israel by themselves. He wanted to put his people by themselves. But he did tell his people to get rid of the people that was in his children's land. And that was only because he knew that those people was going to start a war anyway. So he was just like, if you want to start a war with my people going to fight back, and we're going to win. So each time God's people went against other people, God's people always won. And of course, the enemy, being the sore loser that it is, want to say, oh, well, why God telling people to go around and kill people? No, that's not what God was telling people to do. He was just saying that his people can fight too, and we will win. Yeah, but God never. But see, and then you have these people that are like the extremist Muslims that be like, well, God still kill anybody that is not in their religion. God never said that. God never said go around killing people, But if you want me to explain that further, let me know. And I am more than glad to explain that a little bit further. So I went back to chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 13. Do not be surprised if the world hates you. So yeah, you're following God, you're believing in God. You're not doing things that the world likes. So yeah, don't be surprised. They're not going to like you. But it's okay. As long as God loves you, they can't touch you. And you're going to still be winning. You're going to be in their world, in their land, but you're still going to be winning, Chapter 4, verse 7 through 20. God is love. Indeed he is. He can fight, and he will win, but he is love. Chapter 4, verse 18 through 19. Perfect love expels all fear. If you are afraid, it is because you fear judgment and have not fully experienced God's perfect love. We love each other because God loved us first. If you say you love God but hate a fellow believer, then you are a liar. For if you cannot love someone you can see, how can you love God who you cannot see? And that is true. That is very, very true. I know I've been talking for a minute, like 30 minutes. Bear with me. A little bit more time with me. I'm gonna try to finish this. Gonna try to finish. Bear with me, people. Okay. Chapter 5, verse 4. For every child of God defeats this evil world, and we achieve this victory through our faith. And who can win this battle against the world? Only those who believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Chapter 4, verse 20. God's commandment is, if you love Him, love your fellow believers too. Chapter 5, verse 7. The three witnesses are the Spirit, the water, and the blood. And all three agree. God has testified about His Son Jesus. God has testified He has given us eternal life through His Son Jesus Christ. Whoever has the Son has life, and whoever does not have the Son does not have life. So, you have faith in God, you will win every battle against the world. You will win every battle against Satan. Just gotta have faith in God, even if your faith is as small as a mustard seed. When you love God, love your fellow believers too. Don't be jealous and hating of people because they have something that you want, because it doesn't make sense. You can get it too. You know, if somebody has something that you want, you can get the same thing. You don't have to be jealous. And the three witnesses, the Spirit, the water, and the blood. And this kind of, when people in their prayers and they say the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, I don't think we're supposed to say it. I think we're supposed to say this: the Spirit, the water, and the blood. What do you think? So chapter 5, verse 11 through 21. Be confident in your prayer requests to God, and it will be answered. The evil one cannot touch God's children. We are children of God, and the world around us is under the control of the evil one. Jesus, the Son of God, has come and given us understanding so that we can know the true God, the only true God, and eternal life. Keep away from anything that might take God's place in your hearts. So be confident when you pray to God and ask God, and believe that when you ask God something that He's going to answer you. And believe in positivity. Don't have anything negative, evil happen in your heart, because that's going to block you. If you got anything negative in your heart, write it down and write something positive next to it, and cross out the negative. So that when you pray to God, your prayers will be answered and you won't be blocking yourself. Because you can block yourself when you are when you're anxious, jittery, depressed, sad, angry, frustrated, jealous, any type of negative emotions. You can block yourself from, well, God will hear you, but you just block yourself from receiving your blessing. So that's why, get rid of that and try to focus on positivity. And your prayers will be answered, And of course, the devil can't touch you. I don't care what he say or what he try to tell you, he can't touch you. He cannot hurt you. He cannot harm you. The only way he can is if you give him permission through your thoughts. Our mind is literally a battlefield. We're literally fighting the devil every day and his demons. But keep fighting, because you will have the victory. We will have the victory over Satan. So don't be discouraged. Also chapter 3 verse 12. Do not be like Cain, who belonged to the devil and killed his brother. Cain killed his brother because Cain had been doing evil and Abel was doing righteousness. So Cain was jealous. When Cain was giving his offerings to God, he had a negative heart. That's why God did not accept his offerings. When Abel was giving his offerings to God, he had a good heart, peaceful heart. And God loved that. So that's why he accepted Abel's offering. Cain couldn't understand, why he didn't get accepted. Because he was filled with so much negativity and evil and hatefulness. And God don't like that, So you block yourself. And Cain blocked himself. And then when he saw that Abel was getting the recognition he wanted, he got jealous. And he got so jealous that he killed his own brother. Jealousy is a very evil spirit. And if you ever feel yourself being jealous of somebody or something, ask God to help you to defeat that. And so you have victory over that, because jealousy can make you do some deadly and evil things to people. Even your own family, friends, people that, you're supposed to love. That jealous spirit will make you do just things to them that would normally do. So, but some people are just controlled by that spirit. They just let that spirit control them, and that's not good. So I ask God to help you get rid of that. And always be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. Be honest with God. If you can't be honest with yourself, you won't be honest with nobody else, and you won't be honest with God. So first, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Acknowledge if you're jealous of somebody. Acknowledge if you're angry. You got to acknowledge those negative feelings. It's the only way you're going to get any better. So that's the only way you're going to get help, is you have to acknowledge there's a problem. So, but if you want to pretend like you're so perfect and you don't have those feelings, then you're really blocking yourself from having a lot more in your life. So that is the end of Bible study today. And I know I talked a lot, but I hope that something I said resonated with you and gives you some kind of peace, some kind of understanding, makes you want to have a closer relationship with God. And I'm not preaching. Now, I may do some videos where I'm actually preaching. Now, my preaching would be totally different than my Bible study videos. When I do my Bible study videos, I'm talking to you like I want to have it like I'm talking to you like you're in front of me. Like we're friends, like we're cool, But my preaching would be totally different, so I gotta stay tuned for some of my sermons. I may hit you guys with some people know my sermons, but I may do a video, may do some sermons for you guys. But right now we're gonna do Bible study. Keep it like this. So next time we're gonna talk about 2 Peter. We're gonna get into that. And as you know, we're going backwards. So I started at Revelations, and I'm working my way down to Genesis. So, excuse me. So please check out the other videos, my other Bible study videos, and also check out my recordings, my audio recordings, because I'm reading the whole book of Jeremiah. So, but I'm gonna try to do it like 2 chapters at a time, because don't want to be too time consuming. So I hope you listen this far, and if you have, God bless you, and see you next time. Peace.